Good morning, everybody. This is Jen from ScanNCut Jam Sessions and ScanNCut Canvas and SCAL Help on Facebook. We are going to do a charger. This one is 13 inches wide. The inside diameter is 9 inches. So we are going to go about putting letters on this part of it, and we're going to put some pretty cute stuff on the inside of this. So it is really important to know exactly how big these things are. Okay, so I went ahead and I measured across here, and then take your tape measure, measure the inside, which is 9, but also measure, you see this kind of has a little scoop right here. I don't want that to interfere with my inside design, so I need to measure that too, which comes out at an equal 8. Okay, so I know my inside design can set at 8 all the way around. So I have 13, 9, and 8. So I did up my design in ScanCut 4 because it's just easier to use, and I use the Merry Christmas font from the Hungry JPEG that has a lot of glyphs in it. So therefore, if you watch my other videos, you will know that you cannot use Inkscape, because Inkscape does not have the full glyph panel that ScanCut does. And if you want to use it, you will need a program such as Adobe Illustrator or excuse me, something like that. Alright, so let's get moving. Okay, so I'm over here at the machine, and I'm going to do a lot of on-machine editing today. Okay, so let's see. So here's my words. I already have them all arched out. I did that in ScanCut. I did the type on an arch, and I put them around a circle. I did not do type on path because the circle that you put it on kind of creates an issue. And I'll probably do this in an actual tutorial because there's some pretty good things I want to show you in there. Okay, so I'm going to hit OK, but I wanted to bring this in so I could see my measurements. So let's see, there's 6, 7, 8, 9 and a half. So if I have 9 and a half, I always take it to 10. So this is 6 down and 10 wide. So that's how I'm going to cut my vinyl. Alright. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change my mat size. Did you see how I did that? I came over here. It's probably hard to see because of the way the lighting is in here. I don't know if doing this will help. Okay, yeah, you see the little wrench right here? Hit that and that brings up your tools panel. So I hit that and I change it to 12 by 24. Okay, so now I have the large mat. Well, let's bring this bad boy all the way down here because I want to add some more. Let's add. The cookies and the carrots. Okay, and I have all of these separate, so let's come in here. And with the size, I'm probably only going to want to use one of each. So I'm going to delete this. Now, when you're in this screen, when you hit delete, it does not delete them from the stick. Okay, so now let's start to move these over because I don't want to use up a lot of my materials. Let's blow this up. Okay. you can blow it up real nice. So you can get them as close as you want. Don't try to do this with your bare finger because, man, do they jump all over the place. Bring this up a little bit. Oh. Okay, that looks okay. Now, these little boogers, I'm going to keep them separate because these will be one color and these will be another color. Okay. But I need to decrease the size of these. Okay, because that'll be too big. Remember, it has to fit in that inside 8-inch circle. So it's 4.5 wide, 3 tall. Well, these guys right here also have to fit in there. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to union them and also make them a tad bit smaller. I think that will be okay. Alright, so let's come in here. Deselect these because I don't want them all unioned. Okay. And let's decrease these. Okay. Okay. So that looks pretty good. Now let's bring them down here. I'm going to keep it above the 6-inch line because that's where I'm going to lay my vinyl. So this piece of vinyl will be in these two 6-inch squares, and this color of vinyl will be in this 6-inch square. Let me go get the carrots. I'm going to bring them down and put them in this 6-inch square. So all of my different colors of vinyl will be in those squares. Let me see if I have anything else to add. I don't think so. I made this at about 3 in the morning, so I don't remember what I have. I think that's it though. Yeah. Yep. Okay, now see, let me show you where, okay, this is where if you hit delete in this screen, which I'm going to do, it will permanently take it off of your stick. It will no longer be there. You can see it is completely gone. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go back and redo all of that file and put it where I want it, and I will be right back. Okay, so here's how I have it set up. I'm actually doing 2 chargers. So I have the word set up here in these 2 6-inch squares. I have the cookie set up and the carrot set up in these 2 6-inch blocks. Okay, and then I've done the same thing down here. In these 6-inch squares I have the words, and then in this block is the cookies, and in this block is the carrots. Alright, so now we will go and start placing our vinyl down. Yep, so we'll come all the way through to the cut. Now my settings, let's go into the settings screen. Cut speed at a 1, pressure at a -1. And my blade depth to kiss cut. And I always check this. Always open, and I check my blade. I check the inside, make sure there's nothing plugging it up or even around there, because I don't want former projects reappearing or causing trouble. So make sure you clean that blade, and then when you redo this, screw that cap all the way down tight. I mean, that's as tight as it goes, and then back it all the way up. But mine, I have to put, let me see if I can help you see this better. That's about where I have to have mine, and you can see, no, maybe you can't see, my blade is actually sticking out, and that's about right here. Right there is where I have to set mine to get a kiss cut. I'm trying to see if you can see the blade. Yep, you can see that blade. Tiny little piece sticking out. That's where I set it to get my kiss cut. So I would say that's it, a 0. Because if you see 1 and 2, well, right there would probably be the 0. This is on my ScanNCut 2. And this is where I've always have to have it set. Yesterday I went ahead and I took it up to a 1 and it cut right through the paper, which was okay because I had a really large design, so it didn't matter. I didn't need to actually keep it on the paper. Alright, so let's go ahead and start placing our vinyl. Okay, I have my patchwork of vinyl getting ready to cut. And I also, when I cut, I support my 24 on a box so that it doesn't hang. Alright, so let's get cutting. Okay, so when you get your, you come in, you bring your vinyl over and it starts to stick. Okay, let me see, make sure this gets in the camera shot for you. Okay, you do this. Okay, this is what I tell people to do. Take your little scraper here, put some pressure on it. Okay, start to peel it up this way. Then you won't be left with all that crap stuck to your mat. Get underneath the paper part of it. Because that stuff sometimes is a pain in the hiney to get up. There we go. And then just peel it slow. If you see it catching again, get under it, rock it back and forth. There you go. And then after it's up, if you see any stuff stuck to it, scrape it off right away so you don't forget about it. And this is a mat that I had to re-stick with that glue, that zig pen, so everything is a little bit more sticky. What the heck is that stuck to it? Okay, so that, I know I've told people how to do it. Now I wanted to show you. Because sometimes with the blade, when it cuts, it presses it down really well. And this will happen to you sometimes. So just start peeling. If you see a little spot that's catching, put your scraper under there and free it up. And sometimes if you go from the opposite way, that works also. Just make sure you scrape all the junk off it when you're done. And this is why I don't really recommend using metal scrapers, because the metal can actually dig into your mat and damage it. This plastic one isn't going to do any harm, and it's a nice rigid plastic, but it has the nice curves on the edges so that it's not going to do any damage. Okay, alright, I'm going to finish peeling. Okay, now when I did these, I intentionally welded them all together, or unioned them in SCAL, because I want to show you. Now we can hand cut this stuff, and sometimes I actually like hand cutting. I kind of miss it because I don't have to do it anymore when because I have my ScanNCut. But like these things, I did not save it as a SCUT file, so I can't go back in and edit it. So what I do is I just come in here and I just start hand cutting using my little X-Acto knife. And I can come in and I can make cute little arches on them, but just to cut them away from the orange part of the carrots, because I want to put the green part in. So I just go through and cut out what I don't want in there, and then come over here and add it to, or cut it out of the green part and add it to the orange part. So here's one that is already done up that I just did. Okay, but if you forget, you know, you get buzzing through and you forget to do it, and it's already all put together and you can't get them separate, don't freak out. You can either go into your program and completely, you know, redo it, or just cut another set and start hand cutting. Alright, okay, now let's do some weeding of the letters. I already popped out all the centers. I grab it and just pull. Weeded. It's pretty easy to weed. Just pulling the centers is about the trickiest part. It was cut a little too close there. Get a hold and just start pulling. That one's weeded. As you see, I don't do anything fancy. Just grab and pull it back onto itself. And just watch for any catches and stop immediately if you see any. Weeded. Got 4 little word phrases, thingies, whatever you want to call them, done in about 20 seconds. It's pretty easy because the ScanNCut does a really nice job of cutting. Okay, so we got our cookies. I have enough here for 2 plates because I'm going to make up 2 plates. Got our cookies, our carrots, our words, our gingerbread. I'm using like the color copper because I didn't have an appropriate color. So let's get this ready to be put on. Okay, these are both going to get the alcohol swab treatment because you know we have to clean our fingerprints or body oils or anything that may be on here. We need to clean off. So we give that 651 a good chance of sticking. And this is Oracal 651 is what I'm using. I'm just going to wipe this all over it. Make sure it's nice and clean. And Oracal 651, I have to say this, is not food safe. But I think what they mean by that is so you don't go cooking with it. I'm sure if you set cookies on top of it, it's not going to harm you. Because there isn't really any interaction that's going to take place between there. Okay? But if you go sticking the daggone thing in the microwave, yeah, it's not going to hold up because you can't heat up Oracal 651. You know what happens if you've ever used a hairdryer to it and you leave it on there too long. That stuff shrivels up like crazy. Okay, so let's got this all cleaned up. Now we're going to let it air dry. And then we'll start putting our low-tech transfer tape onto our words here. Okay, and then we're gonna position those on there. And I used a 9-inch inside circle, I used my 9-inch inside circle to place these, so they should be correct. Yep. Yay. So So that's what it's going to look like. But I'm going to let it dry and we'll come back to it. Okay, so let's start picking some of these up. Once again, I have my low-tack transfer tape. The charger I bought at Dollar Tree in America. It was $1. That store is amazing. And this is, it's actually plastic, which is nice because it's kid safe. They're not going to go flying out in the living room with their plate of cookies and break it. Okay, so let's put this on here. This is low-tack transfer tape from Stahls. I love it. I use it for everything because it's also heat transfer tape, so you can use it to put your HTV designs together. And I just touched the plate. Oh well. This one's for my kids, so I don't really worry about it. If it falls off, I can fix it. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Okay, so I'm going to center that F. Okay, now I'm gonna come and check the camera and see if you can see what's going on here. Sorry. It's just me. I need to fire the director, huh? Okay, I'll shed some light on this. I'm gonna start at the F. And I'm gonna go over. Okay. Alright. Now, I'm going to use my flexible tool. And I was telling people to go to, it was Lidco products. Lidco is like the wholesale retailer of this, but it's the only website I had. So after I got the name of this, I went to eBay and ordered some. These are not flexible. These are hard plastic. So I don't know if they changed how they make them. But these are really hard. But they're still cool because, man, do they work good. But I like these flexible ones because you can really get in there, and it's not, I mean, it bends to your surface. So like when you see me do the acrylic cups and glasses, man, do they work good. So I need to check to see if they still make them because I can't live without this thing. Okay. Remember, pull it right back onto itself. And of course I got vinyl from another project stuck to it. So let me peel that off, and here's another piece. I tell you, I reuse this over and over and over. I'm not lying. Okay. And what I did, like I said, is I used the type on an arch. And I'll do up a file for you because I want to go through some techniques that you can use. Okay, so there's cookies for Santa. And let's do the... Okay, and I have one of these gridded mats, and I like to use it because now I'm going to center up the 4 down here, and then I'm going to center that up with the top. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. Let's come over here and get our Rudolph. And this is the Merry Christmas font that came in the November font bundle from the Hungry JPEG, and if you want to order those, do it. They have so much cool stuff in their bundle. And dirt cheap, oh my goodness, dirt cheap. But we have a link to that in our Files tab over on ScanNCut, Canvas, and SCAL Help. And make sure you join our page because there is an absolute ton of files and help on that page. And your question will not sit unanswered like I've seen on a lot of other pages. I don't like that. Okay, so let's center that up there. Okay, I think my P is going to go down into the other place. Go down into the other circle. Make sure it's centered. Start at one side and work your way out. Don't just stick it all down because you can get into wrinkled letters that way. Okay? This is why I like SCAL. We can arch things and do it so that it works. And it arches where it needs to, like when we use the wrapper effect. Just makes it so easy for us to do nice, pretty things that actually work. Like making the Christmas ornaments. I have a video on that, shows you just how to do that. Wonderful. Pull that transfer tape back onto itself. I think I'm going to add some things right here on the sides. Maybe like a Santa and a reindeer or something like that peeking over the edge. Okay, now it's time for our carrots. Add them up there. Okay, I kind of placed it, kind of placed it where it runs up along that curve slightly. Because you got to remember the cookies are down here, so I kind of wanted it where you have that imaginary line that splits the plate in half. I did not want to cross that. Oop. Come on, little carrot. These things are so fun. I love working with vinyl. I love Christmas time and all the fun, cool stuff you can make. And it's really fun when you've got, you know, kids to make stuff with or for. So cool. Okay, so there's the little carrots. And this is all coming out nice and bubble free too. And remember, when you have vinyl, you do not ever want to seal vinyl. If you come on over to this Facebook page, ScanNCut, Canvas, and SCAL Help, I have a document that tells you why. I mean, you can go ahead and do it, but I do not recommend doing it. Try to get that last bubble out of there. There we go. Okay. Now, my little cookies. I'm going to do these one at a time. Okay, you don't want to put them on the plate just like that. That doesn't look good. And if your vinyl ever gets a wrinkle in it, okay, let's say wrinkles like that, see that little house? Take your scraper and just start gently working it, okay? Don't ever peel it up and try to put it back down. That usually creates more problems. Just use your scraper and just gently work it and it'll come right out. Okay, quit blabbing and start working. Like I said, I didn't have a orangish brown, so we're working with copper. Good enough. Kids are so excited at Christmas time anyhow. It doesn't really matter. We have so much cool stuff out though now for kids and their crafts. I mean, they have the come on, let go. The paint markers. You could even have them draw their own cookies on there. Try to always bring that transfer tape back onto itself when you're releasing it. just come in and kind of press that little guy out, flatten him out. Now look at that. Isn't that adorable? That is so cute. Let's keep going. And how many of you try to get this tree down? How many of you do like things for like needy families and stuff like that, or take things to nursing homes? I need to get busy because I'm running behind. I like to do stuff like that. And I'm a little behind schedule, so I need to get with the program. Okay. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and I'll be back because you know how to lay vinyl now. Okay. Da-da-da. This is actually the free file on our group page. So you can head over there and get that free file if you want. The one I made up. And I'm going to just transfer this over to the plate, because I don't like dead space. I also don't like it to look too cluttered, but I wanted something in there that actually had Santa and the reindeer on there. So, bring it up here and put it, and you can curve this if you want. I don't want to. I want it to kind of dip down into that space. Just make sure it's even. Put it in there and rub. And did you see how perfectly this cut? I left my normal settings on there, the same thing I had it set for the rest of the vinyl, and cut. And there was not one single lift, not one tear, nothing. So it cut perfectly. I love our little ScanNCuts. They're so awesome. Okay, spin it, and let's put the other one on it directly across from it. The black on the gold looks really nice. I am not a fan of gold at all. I do not like it. But this charger's pretty cool. It's the only color they had. If they had had silver, I'd have much preferred silver. But for a buck, what do you do, right? Come on, let go. There we go. Sometimes it does not want to let go. This little piece doesn't want to let go. It didn't help it. I kept touching it with my fingers. Here we go. Alright, I'll pick you up so y'all can see it. There we go. That's what it looks like. I love it. Okay, so that's how you go about making a charger for your cookies and your carrots. Alright guys, if you have any questions, you can find me over at ScanNCut Canvas and SCAL Help on Facebook. Alright, thanks. Have a great day.